Did you know that one small habit you do each morning could quietly raise your stroke risk without a single warning sign? Many older adults wake up, feel a little dizzy, maybe a bit off balance, and brush it off. It's just age, they tell themselves. But what if that tiny moment was your brain begging for help? In this video, I'll reveal 7 morning habits that can silently increase your stroke risk and simple changes you can make today to protect your brain, your balance, and your independence. Don't wait until something goes wrong. Just 30 seconds each morning could be the difference between years of clear thinking or a single moment that changes everything. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it? Or just type the word HOPE if you're ready to live healthier. If you find this helpful, hit subscribe so you won't miss the next simple health tip. Now stay with me. The first habit might surprise you. Habit number 1, jumping out of bed too quickly. The first habit we need to talk about might seem harmless at first, but for someone over 65, it could be the first domino that sets off a series of serious problems. It's this jumping out of bed too quickly right after waking up. I know it sounds simple. You wake up, swing your legs to the floor, and push yourself up. That's how you've started your day for decades, right? But the truth is, as we get older, our bodies need a moment to catch up. The blood pressure's lower after a night's sleep. Circulation slows down. And when we stand up too fast, our brain might not get enough blood right away. That's when it happens, the dizziness, the brief blackout, the feeling like the room is spinning. And for some, it's more than just a wobble. It can lead to a fall. Or worse, it could be the moment your brain says, I'm not getting what I need. I once spoke with Mr. Harold, 72, from Kansas City. Every morning, he'd jump out of bed, rush to the bathroom, and brush off the dizzy spell that followed. One morning, though, it wasn't just a dizzy spell. He lost his balance, hit the side of the sink, and woke up in the ER with a mild concussion and high blood pressure. His doctor later told him the sudden change in position likely triggered a blood pressure crash that starved his brain for oxygen. That moment became his wake-up call. You see, the brain is a delicate organ, especially after 65. It relies on steady blood flow, enough oxygen, and a calm start. When we stand too fast, especially if our arteries are already a little stiff or narrowed, that blood doesn't move fast enough. And that's where the danger starts: mini strokes, loss of balance, or even a full-blown stroke in the early hours. But here's the good news, there's a gentle fix. Tomorrow morning before you jump out of bed, pause. Take a few deep breaths, wiggle your toes. Let your legs hang off the edge of the bed for 30 seconds, maybe even a minute. Then slowly sit up. Wait another moment. Only when you feel steady, that's your green light to stand. It doesn't cost a penny. It doesn't take much time, but it gives your heart and brain the moment they need to sync up and support you. Have you ever felt lightheaded in the morning and just brushed it off? Let me know in the comments or simply type HOPE if you believe every little change matters, because it really does. This one habit, just slowing down for a minute, can help you stay independent, avoid falls, and protect your brain for years to come. Sometimes protecting your health isn't about big changes. It's about listening when your body whispers so you don't have to wait until it screams. Let's move on to the next habit that might surprise you even more. Habit number 2, skipping water first thing in the morning. The second habit we need to talk about might sound too simple to matter, but trust me, this one thing could quietly shape how your heart, brain, and memory hold up as you age. It's this not drinking water when you first wake up. Now I know, you might think I'm not even thirsty in the morning, or I'll get my water later with breakfast. But here's the problem. By the time you feel thirsty, your body's already been running on empty. And after 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your brain is like a dry sponge. It's craving moisture to function right. I remember Miss Dorothy, 76, from North Carolina. She was sharp, lively, always up early to feed the birds and do her morning stretches, but she never drank water in the morning. She said she didn't like the taste of plain water and usually started her day with a big cup of coffee. Then one day her hands felt tingly. Her head was cloudy. She couldn't remember her grocery list, the one she'd just written 15 minutes earlier. Her doctor later told her she was chronically dehydrated and it was taking a toll on her circulation and memory. You see, your brain is made up of about 75% water, and during the night you lose water through breathing and sweat even if you're just lying still. So when you open your eyes in the morning, your blood is a little thicker. That makes your heart work harder and slows down the blood that reaches your brain. That's why some seniors wake up feeling foggy, slow, or slightly off balance. It's not always age sometimes, it's just a dry brain trying to power up with no fuel. And if you're taking medications that pull water from your body like water pills or blood pressure drugs, then morning dehydration hits even harder. Over time, this can raise your risk of stroke, high blood pressure, or memory issues. But the good news, the fix is gentle, natural, and takes less than 60 seconds. Start your day with 1 glass of room temperature water, not ice cold, just simple, steady hydration. Sip slowly. Let it wake your body, your circulation, and your brain. You don't have to force down a big bottle. Even 6 to 8 ounces can make a huge difference. Some folks like to keep a glass right on their nightstand so it's the first thing they see. Others add a slice of lemon or cucumber if they want something refreshing. What about you? Have you tried drinking water before your morning coffee? If not, try it tomorrow and tell me how you feel. And if you believe that small changes can still make a big difference, just comment the word hope down below, because that's what we're holding on to, not just years in our life, but life in our years. Now let's talk about a common breakfast mistake that most people don't even realize they're making. Habit number 3, eating salty processed foods for breakfast. The third habit that quietly raises your risk even before you step out the door has to do with what's on your breakfast plate. And I know you might be thinking, but I eat a light breakfast, just a little cereal or toast with some eggs. But here's the thing, many so-called light breakfasts are loaded with salt, and most people don't even realize it. I remember chatting with Mr. Raymond, 78 years old, from Missouri. Every morning he made what he thought was a healthy meal: scrambled eggs, a slice of toast, and a cup of instant oatmeal. No bacon, no sausage. Seems safe, right? But one day his blood pressure shot up out of nowhere. When they checked his diet, the culprit wasn't fried food or late-night snacking. It was his breakfast. That packet of instant oatmeal, over 300 milligrams of sodium, his toast, another 200, and the cheese he added to his eggs, nearly 400 more. Raymond had no idea. He wasn't doing anything wrong, just doing what he'd always done. That's the tricky part. Salt hides in places you don't expect, especially in processed breakfast foods. Things like boxed cereals, flavored oatmeal biscuits, and even healthy whole grain breads often come packed with sodium. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to salt. Too much sodium stiffens our blood vessels, raises blood pressure, and puts extra strain on the tiny arteries in our brain. Over time, that pressure can cause these vessels to weaken or even burst. That's how strokes happen, quietly building over weeks, months, or years, one salty bite at a time. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up your breakfast. You just need to give it a little upgrade. Start by looking at the labels, even on things that say heart healthy. Try plain oatmeal instead of flavored packets. Swap store-bought bread for low sodium or homemade options. Add fresh fruit. Use eggs without the cheese or try half the amount. And if you want something creamy, try a slice of avocado on whole grain toast. It's full of good fats that actually help support brain health without the salt. If you're thinking, well, I've been eating this way for years, is it too late? Absolutely not. Your body responds to small changes, and breakfast is a great place to start. Let me ask you, when was the last time you checked the sodium in your favorite breakfast food? Type hope in the comments if you believe it's never too late to protect your brain, because that's what we're doing here. Not giving up the things we love, just loving our bodies enough to adjust the recipe. Your breakfast should give you energy and clarity, not raise your risk without warning. And the next habit, it's something almost all of us do, thinking it helps us wake up, but it might be doing the opposite. Let's talk about that next. Habit number 4, drinking too much coffee on an empty stomach. The fourth habit is one that's near and dear to so many of us. And I'll admit I've done it myself for years without thinking twice. It's reaching for that first cup of coffee before anything else. Still in your robe, maybe, with the morning news playing softly in the background. That hot, comforting cup feels like the only thing that helps you fully wake up. But here's the catch: drinking coffee on an empty stomach, especially as we get older, can quietly do more harm than good. I remember Mrs. Ellen, a lovely woman from Michigan, 73 years old. She told me she had 2 cups of coffee before anything else. No breakfast, no water. She said it helped with her morning fog. But then she started having odd symptoms. Her hands would tremble, her heart would race, and sometimes she felt lightheaded, like she couldn't quite catch her balance. She thought it was just age creeping up. But after some gentle questions and a visit to her doctor, she learned that caffeine was hitting her too hard, especially without food to buffer it. You see, as we get older, our blood vessels naturally become a bit more sensitive. Drinking coffee right away, especially more than 1 cup, triggers a quick spike in adrenaline. It can narrow those vessels, raise your blood pressure, and force your heart to work overtime. And if you're already managing blood pressure or heart concerns, this jolt isn't just uncomfortable, it can be dangerous. In fact, too much caffeine in the early morning, when your body is still adjusting, has been linked to many strokes and abnormal heart rhythms in seniors. But here's the comforting part: you don't need to give up your coffee. Not at all. You just need to change the timing. Try this tomorrow. Start your day with a glass of room temperature water. Let your body wake up gently. Then eat something small, a boiled egg, a piece of toast, a little oatmeal, and only after that have your coffee. 1 cup is enough, and try not to load it up with sugar or flavored creamers, which add even more strain. You'll still get that warm comfort, that peaceful ritual, but your body will thank you for not rushing it. Have you ever noticed your heart beating a little fast after your morning coffee? Type hope in the comments if you believe a small change like this could make your mornings healthier and calmer. Because the truth is, your body still listens carefully even after 70. When you treat it with patience and kindness, it responds in the most beautiful ways. And now let's look at another early morning signal you should never ignore. One that shows up in your body before you even leave the bedroom. Habit number 5, ignoring morning dizziness or weakness. The 5th habit is one most people don't even think twice about, but it could be the very first warning your body gives you before something serious happens. It's this brushing off dizziness or weakness in the morning. I know how easy it is to dismiss that feeling. You stand up and feel a little lightheaded, your arm feels weak, your balance is a bit off, or maybe your speech feels not quite right. You think, I probably didn't sleep well, or maybe I just got up too fast. But what if your body was whispering something more important? What if that tiny moment, that quick spell of weakness, was actually the start of something much bigger? I once met Mr. Charles, a retired truck driver from Nebraska. Strong hands, sharp wit, and a man who prided himself on never needing help. But he told me about a few mornings where he'd wake up, reach for his coffee mug, and nearly drop it. His fingers felt numb, his arm heavy. It only lasted a minute or two, so he didn't tell anyone. He figured it was part of getting older. Then one morning he couldn't find the words he wanted to say. It passed quickly, but something about it shook him. He went to the doctor that week, and sure enough, they found signs of what's called a mini stroke. A warning shot, really. One that could have become a full-blown stroke if he'd kept ignoring the signs. See, as we age, our blood flow to the brain can become more fragile. Our vessels aren't quite as flexible, our circulation not quite as quick. So when oxygen doesn't reach the brain, like it should even for a short time, we feel it. That's why dizziness, weakness, confusion, or even tingling in the morning should never be brushed off, especially if it feels different than your usual tiredness. Because while these signs might go away in minutes, the damage can build quietly. Now, I don't say this to scare you, I say it to help you catch things early, because there's so much we can do. Start by writing things down. If you ever feel off in the morning, even just once, make a note of it. Keep a simple log, Use a notebook or an app if you're comfortable, and talk to your doctor. Don't wait until it happens again. Even better, let your loved ones know. You're not complaining. You're protecting your independence, your brain, and your future. Have you ever felt a little off in the morning, but kept quiet about it? If so, type hope in the comments to remind yourself and others that it's never too late to listen more closely to your body. Because the body always speaks, sometimes in whispers, sometimes in stumbles. But when we pause and pay attention, we give ourselves the chance to stay strong longer. Now let's move on to something just as important, the one mistake with medications that many seniors don't even realize they're making. Habit number 6, skipping or mismanaging morning medications. The sixth habit we need to talk about might be one of the easiest to overlook and one of the most dangerous. It's what happens when we forget our morning medications or take them the wrong way. I know it doesn't always feel like a big deal. You miss a pill, you take it later, or maybe you double up because you're not sure if you already took it, and some days you're just too tired to deal with it all. Believe me, I understand. But the truth is, timing and routine matter more than we think, especially in the early morning hours when your body's waking up and your blood pressure naturally starts to rise. That's the moment when the heart, the brain, and the blood vessels need your support the most. And if a critical pill is skipped or taken too late, your body might not be ready. I think about Mr. Gerald, a widower from Tennessee in his late 70s. He told me one morning he woke up late, rushed through breakfast, and forgot to take his blood pressure medication. He remembered it around noon, took it then, but something felt off. He got dizzy later that afternoon and had to be taken to urgent care. The doctor told him something simple but powerful. Medication works best when your body knows what to expect. Gerald wasn't doing anything wrong out of laziness. He was just juggling life and a quiet routine that had slipped a little too far out of sync. And he's not alone. Millions of older adults miss a dose, take pills with coffee instead of water, or combine medications in ways that aren't helpful. Some even double dose by accident, which can lower blood pressure too much, leading to fainting or dangerous falls. Others stop taking a pill altogether because they feel fine, not realizing that the pill is the very reason they feel that way. But here's the comforting part. There are simple ways to stay on track. Use a weekly pill organizer. Set an alarm, even a gentle one, just for your morning meds. And always take them with water, not coffee. Coffee can interfere with absorption. And never change your dose without talking to your doctor or pharmacist. Even if you feel better. Even if you're tired of taking pills. Your body depends on rhythm. Like a song, it stays in tune when the beat is steady. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your medications or unsure if you took them already? You're not alone. Type hope in the comments if you believe small changes, even with something as routine as your pills, can protect your future. Because this is about more than just taking a tablet. It's about staying sharp, steady, and strong enough to enjoy the years ahead. And next, we'll talk about something even more surprising: what happens when we ignore the first message our body sends every morning. Habit number 7, holding in urine too long after waking. The 7th habit is one that almost no one talks about, but it can quietly affect your heart, your brain, and your overall health. It's something simple: holding in your urine too long after waking up. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal. Maybe you wake up and feel like using the bathroom, but instead you check the news, or scroll your phone, or wait until your coffee's done brewing. You tell yourself, I can hold it a little longer. But here's what many people don't realize, especially after age 65. Your body is more sensitive to stress signals, even small ones. And holding in a full bladder sends your body into a stress mode. It triggers the release of hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which raise your blood pressure and tighten your blood vessels. That's not something we want first thing in the morning when blood pressure is already rising naturally. I remember speaking with Mrs. Brenda, 75, from Colorado. She used to delay going to the bathroom each morning, saying she didn't want to rush. But she started noticing that her heart would feel jumpy right after she got up. Some mornings she felt lightheaded, like her head was full of pressure. Her doctor told her that her habit of holding in urine could be causing those early blood pressure spikes, especially dangerous for someone with a history of hypertension. Once she started going right away within 5 minutes of waking, those symptoms got better. And just like that, a tiny change gave her peace of mind. See, the bladder isn't just a container, it's connected to your whole system. When it's too full, it signals your body that something is urgent. And that urgency can stress the heart, mess with your circulation, and in some cases even lead to irregular heart rhythms. It sounds dramatic, I know, but it's true. And it's not just about stroke or heart health. Holding it in can also weaken the bladder over time, which can lead to more frequent urges or even accidents later in the day. The good news is this one's easy to fix. Just make it a rule when you wake up, go. Before coffee, before the paper, before anything else. It's not an inconvenience, it's your body asking for care. Have you ever delayed your morning bathroom trip and felt a little shaky or off afterward? If so, you're not alone. Type the word hope in the comments if you believe small habits like this can protect your health, because they truly can. You've just given your brain, your heart, and your bladder a gentle act of kindness. And now we're going to tie all these powerful habits together and talk about how they can add years of energy, clarity, and freedom to your life. Let's take a quiet moment to look a little deeper. All 7 habits we just talked about, from jumping out of bed too fast to skipping water or delaying that first trip to the bathroom, they might seem small, ordinary, but that's exactly why they're dangerous. They slip into our lives quietly. No big signs, no warning bells. Just familiar routines we've done for years, until one day something changes. And the truth is, by the time a stroke or a heart issue shows up, it didn't start that morning. It was built over time, silently, gently, by the little things we didn't think mattered. I know many of you watching this aren't looking for magic pills. You just want something simple, something you can do without stress, without side effects, and without breaking the bank. You want to protect your memory, keep walking strong without fear of falling, stay in your own home, independent, proud, and able to enjoy every small joy, from your morning coffee to your grandchild's hug. That's why these morning choices matter, because the body doesn't ask for much. It just wants rhythm, kindness, and a little attention each day. You don't need to be perfect. You don't have to change everything overnight. But if you take just one habit we discussed, just one, and make it yours, starting tomorrow morning, your body will notice. And you might just add more years of clarity, confidence, and comfort to your life. Have you already tried changing one of your morning habits, or do you plan to start tomorrow? Tell me in the comments, or simply type hope if you believe small changes can make a big difference, because they can. And in the next part of this video, we'll bring it all together and talk about how to build a gentle morning routine that keeps you safe, steady, and strong for years to come.